Alright. Just about to do my intro. I was about to shout it, man. I keep forgetting I got this little microphone on my helmet. I'm back. Got a couple things I want to talk about before I even think about talking about those things, though. Can't lie, I didn't realize that I have been gone from this channel for that long. I'm slightly disappointed that I've been gone from this channel for that long. But, yeah, it's not like I've just haven't been uploading or doing anything. Damn, there's a lot of traffic. I've been doing a lot. I've been uploading like crazy on my music channel, my gaming channel. It's just, I know I did a video in 2022, but I didn't realize how long ago in 2022. So it's been 10 damn days. And then I was gonna record yesterday, but not only was it my birthday, so I'm like, you know, let me chill out real quick, because the amount of videos that I've been editing for my gaming channel is kind of crazy, and I've been editing for hours. So I'm like, I'm gonna take a good break. And then my bike right here isn't fully charged because I was gonna drive my mom's scooter, but damn, I think they made this curve like dip. Glad I just saw these cars, because I wouldn't have fucking paid attention. I was gonna drive my mom's scooter, her fat tire, but she took the key out and she put it in one of her pants pockets. And she has a lot of pants, so I don't know what pants those are, and I don't know when she's gonna be able to find them, if she's even gonna remember to, because she's probably not gonna remember to. So I'm like, you know, let me just drive my bike. It's been a while, so it was only down 73 volts, and then let me go ahead and just take a one more break, because I went on like a good 3-day break from editing videos on anything I upload, but editing, just took a break from that. And that's when I'm like, you know, let's see what's going on my channel. I haven't been on in a few days. I think it's only been like 3. And then I go and check in some comments, and I look at some of the comments are on my latest videos, and realize that it has been 9 days at that time. So I'm like, holy shit. So the next thing I want to talk about, I think I've said this before, I'm not 100% sure. I've been doing a lot of these MotoVlogs, and I'm just trying to make sure people, if anybody doesn't mind that I do these. I think some people like them, but I'm not 100% sure of that, because I think I've said this before. I'm not sure, but if I didn't, not that I don't like doing these MotoVlogs, obviously I like doing them. That's why I do them. That's why I built these bikes. Well, not the only reason why I built them, for fun, but also, you know, do some videos on a MotoVlog and all that shit, because it's cool. But as of recently, or as of actually for quite some time now, it's been the only thing I've been doing. Because at the moment, like I said, ever since we got into this new spot, the rims a little more and all that, so it's not much things that I can get to really do more unboxings on. I have things that I want to unbox, a couple of CO2 guns and all that, but they're not mine, they're my dad's. So I don't know when he's gonna shoot them, and I'll have to see if he'll let me shoot them. One of them is a CO2 operated gun, and we don't have any CO2s. I don't even think we have any steel BBs. So that one, I'm not sure. That probably mainly depends on when's the next time we can get some CO2 tanks and all that. And he has this another gun that doesn't need CO2, but that's if he's gonna let me shoot it. So I got other videos that I haven't uploaded yet. They're about a month old. I got some unboxing and all that shit. It's just, not only after those are gone, there really isn't much more. Not only after those are gone, there isn't really much more, but I got other videos waiting. I just haven't done them yet because they're not really finished. And then another thing that I mainly wanted to talk about is this bike right here. So I've been thinking about a couple of things. I'm already still thinking about what I want to do with my Nan robot, since that thing permanently has a half working battery now. So my parents had this old truck, old Expedition. It was a 2007 Ford Expedition, and that 2007 Ford Expedition we've had since 2016, I think October 2016. So the truck now is not really in the greatest of condition. Like, it's not super bad, but it really could be better. And it's starting to become a useless bill on my parents, because I mean, it was partially my truck, not fully mine, but partially my truck. My parents used it a lot more than their newer vehicles, because they had it, so like, you know, why put more mileage on our newer vehicles when we still have this thing? but it was also kind of my vehicle, my first vehicle too, I guess, if I'm not including my little old Nan robot. And yeah, it's not doing very great, so my parents are thinking about getting rid of it. The tires are going out. Like, I don't even know if they ever got like newer tires on that thing. I think the tires that is on that truck has been on that truck since we got it. So they're very old tires, very crusty tires. And even if the tires are not that old, they're still quite old because they're cracking. One of the tires finally gave out. It didn't help the fact that I've been helping my two older brothers, my two older siblings, practice to get their driver's license. They have their permits. I'm gonna go into here real quick because I wanna look at this bike, because obviously you guys can see it in the thumbnails, but I really want to show you guys. Yeah, they're pretty much getting rid of the truck. The truck is quite old, and now thinking about it, it's kind of crazy how old that truck is. I never realized it was that old, but the truck is old. Tires are going out, engine parts and all this fixing up of the truck that they have to do is becoming a bill, and they don't even need the truck. My dad has his own truck and my mom got her own car, so they're thinking about selling the Expedition. And especially the fact that, like I said, one of the rear wheels finally gave out since we were on like a rough terrain like this, trying to teach my two brothers how to drive, or help them on how to drive. That rear tire gave out, and now we have the spare tire from under the truck on the Expedition, and it's just making the truck look really junky. It is junky. When we turn it on, a lot of white smoke is coming out the truck. So it's becoming too expensive, and for the 5th time, because I don't know how many times I done damn said it, but my parents are trying to sell the truck. So I'm like, you know what, well, I'm good with it. I got my license. I ain't gonna have to really do shit for the next 8 years. And I mean, even when I do, all I do is have them mail me in another little card. So like I have to do my permit and then drive test again. So I'm fine. And pretty much driving is just like riding a bike. Back in 2021, my dad hasn't drove a car since I think I was born or a little kid. So at the time that was like 17, 18 years ago. And he got his license in 2021, and he's driving again like normal. So anybody can stop driving for a while and get straight back into it. Once again, it's like riding a bike. I'm fine with it because I got my bike to a certain extent. Because the problem with this bike is, as you guys can already tell, this thing is extremely top heavy. Like extremely top heavy. I was driving my mom's Mototech, the fat tire. Her scooter's 120 pounds. You got those heavy ass tires obviously on the ground. I mean, I don't know where else that would be. And then you got the battery compartment and all that, which is probably also one of the heaviest parts on the scooter. But as you can tell, when you look at that thing, it sits extremely low. It's where you put your feet at. So that has an extremely low center of gravity. And then driving my old beach cruiser and my brother's beach cruiser, their center of gravity is a lot lower than this, but at the same time they're so light, so it doesn't really make a difference on that bike. Where this thing is heavy, it's like 175, 177 pound moped. And then I knew this was top heavy, but I never truly realized how top heavy this is. As you can tell looking on this side, because you can see everything better, there's really no weight at the bottom. The only thing that's like really heavy at the bottom is that hub. But this being 177 pounds, majority of that 177 pounds has to be up here. I guess you got the swing arm too kind of sitting at the bottom, but that swing arm isn't super heavy. You got the headlight, you got the whole body, half of the forks, the seat, and of course obviously I'm sitting up there, and as you can tell, this thing, it doesn't sit super high, but it sits up there. So I'm sitting high, adding my own top heavy weight. This is extremely top heavy. I mean, it's so top heavy. Usually motorcycles like dirt bikes or sports bikes, engines are like, you know, obviously down here, and they at least go up to about here where the swing arm is to the tire. But obviously that engine is down here. No, the battery is like here. This is pretty much almost over the entire tires. That's how high this center of gravity is. And that's why I think every time I go to a different scooter or bike and then I go back to this thing, I instantly become not so used to it. I got to get used to all this top heavy weight again, because this thing is extremely top heavy. Like the Onyx, people say the Onyx is top heavy. That's only 145 pounds. This I made with all steel. Some steel being thinner, some steel being thicker. I usually put this thing kind of in front of my dad's tool drawer, because it's the only plug that this bike is close to and not really in the way of much of anything else, or at least not in the walkway of anything. He said when he moves this bike, and he's way stronger than me, when he moved this bike, it's not heavy, it's just the fact that all the weight is up here. So, like I've said a couple times on the channel, I'm working on another project. This project is going to be like a bobber bike. We're not going to be like, I'm trying to make a bobber bike. And this is leading to the next thing I want to talk about. But this bobber bike sits very low. It's going to sit extremely low, and I like that actually, because I love the lower bobber look. But this thing is going to be sitting low, real low to the ground. Problem is, money being very low, I have a decent amount of framework and frame parts for it. I was kind of thinking about, and it would be a decent amount of work, but I was kind of thinking about taking everything off of this moped and moving it onto the new project. The problem with that is I already have wheels for the new project, and I want the new project to be a mid-drive, because the new project is going to have I want to give the new project about a 3000 or 4000 watt motor. I'm looking at a 4000 watt motor. If I have to go down in price a little bit, I'm looking at a 3000 watt motor, but it is QS motor. I'm assuming you guys already know what motor I'm talking about. This doesn't have a mid-drive motor. This is a hub drive, so I don't want to weld into the full middle frame of the body for the battery and everything else, and next thing you know, I won't have space for the original mid-drive idea I want to go with, because obviously both of these motors are going to be able to handle the same amount of power. The problem is, I've noticed with a hub motor, it'll get mounds of torque, but you can't get the speed up that much more. Where the mid-drive, you can get that speed up because of the gearing. You can fuck around with the gearing, find the correct gear, and get the speed. I hear people with this motor, this QS205, they can get up to like 20,000 watts peak. But I'm still only seeing people doing like 50, maybe close to 60 miles per hour. Shit, I've almost got this thing up to 60. But that's really it. The minimum speed I would love to go for on the new project is 70. I want to have good passing power when I'm on the roads, and I don't know if I ever take it on the highway, but just in case one day I do take it on the highway, because obviously, as you guys can tell, pretty much I'm talking about these bikes being now my primary vehicle, since the Expedition is going to be going away sometime soon. I might need to take it on the highway one day. I've never driven on the highway. I still am a decently new driver. I've never driven the Expedition on the highway. I mean, I couldn't anyways, because the tires are so bad, so my dad told me, do not take this thing on the highway. I'm like, yeah, I've never driven on the highway anyways, so I'm gonna be too scared to, which is, I'm sure it's no different from driving on the road. It's just, once again, that new driver thing where you get nervous and think things are gonna be 10 times difficult. Not really, but let's just take one more look at this bike. But yeah, it's the new project. I want it to be a mid-drive, and with these hub motors, unless they're going up in voltage, it doesn't seem like you can get that high-end speed that a mid-drive can get. And honestly, I'm trying to stay in a 72 volt range, because I know you're definitely not going to get those speeds in 60 volts or 52 volts. Definitely not 52 volts. But 96 volts is going to get expensive, because that means a more expensive battery, because obviously more cells. So I'm trying to stay in the 72 volt range, and I've already seen a couple of bikes that are going to be about the same weight as that are the same weight as this bike, or a little heavier, and probably going to be about the same weight as the new project, which is about 170 to 190 pounds. I think my new project, I'd be surprised if it doesn't hit about 190 to 200 pounds. I've seen that QS motor move those bikes from that weight range to 70 miles per hour. I've seen some people talking about it will hit 70. So yeah, that's the thing I'm thinking about. And another thing leading on to the next thing I want to talk about is with this new project, because it's going to be done so slowly, like it's going to take a long time to get this thing done, once again simply because of the money. Like this bike, I waited 8 months to finally release it on YouTube, because I wanted it to be one big video. I'm wondering, would anybody care to see me do these projects in separate videos? I guess the first project could be like framework, where I'm getting all the shit, and then the next part is where me trying to just, I don't know, find the right and get the right battery and motor and build all that shit together. and then like the next part is just finishing the bike and just go from like updates on the project. If anybody would care to see that, just let me know. But yeah, I guess that's what I really mainly wanted to talk about. I could have did this driving, but I really just wanted to show you guys the bike once more in video, to show you some of the things I'm talking about when it comes to this top heavy weight and all that. Damn, these clouds look kind of crazy. It's like snow on the mountains. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I forgot I'm getting gear 1. And that's the thing too, if I could like get the mid-drive and shit, I don't want to build or weld stuff that only fits the specs that this bike has, because I'm probably going to give the new project a different controller, definitely a different battery, because I want the new project to not only be a bit faster, which is once again why I'm going with the mid-drive, but I also want it to have more range. I want it to have more range. This bike has a really good range, at least one of the best ranges. I don't say the best range. I think all my scooters and bikes have the similar range, which is close to 30 miles at like full out blast. But it's more of the fact that this bike can do up to 50 miles per hour and still do about almost 30 miles. That's what I really like about this. Alright, so I'm going to take over with the voiceover, because for some reason by the end of this video, when I got done talking about the bike, I just completely got flustered with my thoughts and kept repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Finally, my GoPro actually charged to 100%. So the last video I did, got all the clips off the GoPro, put it on the desktop. I took the GoPro, took the battery out of it, set it on my desk for like a good 3 to 4 days. I think about 4 days. And then on the 4th day, I put the battery back in, plugged the GoPro up. For how many hours, or the next day, I can't remember how long it took. The GoPro actually, the red light to the GoPro actually went off. So for the first time in a long time, it actually told me that the camera is done charging. So when I went to check if it was actually done charging at a full 100% or 60, it was actually charged at 100%. So I'm like, okay, that's surprising. So I don't know. I guess I just need to kick the battery out for a while. I guess the GoPro was glitching out and it needed some sort of reset, because for the second time I charged the GoPro up again after this video, and once again the light's off and it's fully charged. Well, I need to turn it on to check if it's actually fully charged, but the light went off, so I'm assuming it's fully charged again. But that's really about it. I do want to continue this video out a little longer since I had some more clips that I recorded, but I will be repeating myself because this is me trying to remember my thoughts. So I don't know, just ignore it. Is that not only do I have all this top heavy weight, but these wheels on this bike are so thin. Like, they're wider than the original wheels that would be on the Honda PA50, because that's what this frame is. That's what this frame is. But they're still moped-sized wheels. They're still skinny. So I got all this top heavy weight on skinny tires, driving on sometimes not the smoothest of roads. It's not a very great combination. I really want to get the new project done, and so far with how low it's sitting and everything, I got wheel, like I said, I got wheels, I got a frame, I got forks, I got fork clamps. All I really need when it comes to framework like that, at least getting it on, making it a rolling frame, yeah, a rolling chassis, I mean, because I think that's what they call it, rolling chassis. I just need tires and handlebars. That's the only thing I don't have. It's tires and handlebars. But I got rear shocks, front shocks, clamps, the frame, everything. The frame doesn't have a problem. I got it on a pretty decent bargain. I'm for the longest surprised, and I think I found out why. Golly, these people popping up like that and just looking like they're not slowing down is gonna make me have a heart attack. But anyways, goddamn, look at the view of the mountains. Should we take one more stop? Because that look nice. Yo, look at those mountains look far as fuck. That's probably why they're snowing. I found out the reason why the frame was so cheap. So it came with a swing arm. The reason it came with a swing arm is because the fucking seller couldn't get the swing arm off. The bolt is like stuck inside the swing arm. So this idiot sold me the frame and then didn't say shit about it. And I just not found it out because I was trying to clean the frame off with the pressure washer, and I was trying to get the swing arm off, and I'm hitting it with a hammer and everything, and it's just not budging. That shit is not budging at all. So I'm like, okay, I see why this shit was so cheap now. I somewhat got scammed, but I can always just cut the shit off and make my own swing arm. I forgot what they call it when the swing arm is, or the swing arm bolt is stuck in like that. I'm also hoping I'm not on somebody's property, because I've been up here a few times to anybody who hasn't seen my past videos of me being up here. But I just want to get a look at this view before I close this video off. But yeah, like I said, obviously I like this bike a lot. I don't have problems with it. It's a very fun bike. It's just having to, if I need a vehicle, or having a vehicle to drive around with and go to certain places, definitely if I need to do decent amount of driving, like someone that's 10 miles, because I think I could do 10 miles somewhere and 10 miles back on this bike. This thing just, all this top heavy weight, like if anybody ever noticed, I mean, this is pretty much the first motorcycle I've ever driven, because this thing is probably definitely considered a motorcycle. That's probably one of the reasons why I don't turn hard on this thing, because I'm just not used to turning hard on any sort of two-wheeled vehicle at this weight and speed. But this top heavy weight does not help that at all, and I just need something better. And with this project I'm making, the, what's the word, center of weight, god damn, I had the word, if I could have sworn I just used it earlier and I forgot that fast. But pretty much, you know what I mean, the where the weight is, it's just not great on this bike. But the new project, it's weight distribution, I guess, I don't know, it's much better. I'm about to fall, and I'll see, but maybe I can find it a more comfortable seat, because this seat is not the most comfortable. I mean, like right now, I've been driving for 9 miles right now. My butt is not in pain. My butt's not in pain at all. But the drive I did when I was doing like 23 miles, now I don't know where I would be driving again. That's 23 miles, because if I do 23 miles, I'm not doing 23 miles back. At least I ain't gonna make it. But when driving distances like that, or let's just say the road is kind of rough, then that's when the seat becomes uncomfortable. I think it'll help out if I just get some smoother shocks, but the seat is still not like, oh shit, I think my damn tire just threw a rock at my hand. The fuck? Hit my thumb. Yeah, on a bumpy road, the seat's not the most comfortable. And once again, it's probably because I could probably get better shocks and help that out, but the seat still really isn't the softest. It isn't really a soft seat. But yeah, the new project could be a lot more comfortable. And I'm trying to give it them high handlebars. Pretty much, I want something like my brother's beach cruiser, his stretched beach cruiser. I really still don't know if I ever really need to stop at this sign, because there's nowhere else to fucking go. But I pretty much want something like my brother's beach cruiser, just more motorcycle-like, with the, you know, motorcycle wheels and frame and all that. But his bike is so comfortable to cruise on, and that I would love to have a motorcycle or a bike like that to have to drive around and be my main little vehicle. Or something like this can get a little more uncomfortable after a while. So once again, as you can tell, like I have to lean, which is a lot of times why I try to make sure my GoPro is tight, and why I had to adjust it earlier, because it wasn't tight enough. As you can tell, the angle on some parts of my driving was off, because that's how much I have to lean. I can't really sit up, so that's where it becomes painful in the hands. But I guess I'm gonna do a long outro on this one, or yeah, long outro. I'm gonna say my shit right now. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links in the description to my music and my gaming channel. Damn, it's windy out here. Stay tuned for more if you're into this shit. Maybe the next time, in the next video, I will be able to formulate proper sentences. But until then, I'm out. Peace.